So we are now recording the May 26, 2017 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
We have Jordan Schrade. I hope I didn't butcher your last name.
It's okay.
And he is new, and he's new to the business. Jordan, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm a recent graduate. I'm not too old. So I started working for Barnes & Noble, the bookstore, in their internal audit department. And then I just left there this month, 2 weeks ago today, to pursue my CPA and to start building a business as well.
Nice. Congratulations. Good luck.
Thank you.
So do you have any clients in
I do not.
You do not. So you're ready and open for business and waiting for your first client.
Yeah, trying to figure out what marketing I can do and kind of how I can get out there. I heard networking is probably the biggest way to do it, but.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's a mix of people that are in this group. Some of us have been doing this for a long time. I've been doing bookkeeping for almost 20 years. Dennis has been a CPA for how long, Dennis?
Since 1982.
Oh,
long time.
that's when I was born.
There you go.
The exam was a lot different back then. It was like the first time you took it was like a 2.5-day exam, and you had to take all 4 parts, and you had to pass. You had to get either pass 2 or pass practice and get a 50 on all the others to get conditional credit.
Not tougher than today where you can do each section.
Well, in some ways, I guess today's tougher, but I guess you have a higher pass rate because you don't have to take them all at the same time. I mean, the first time you take it, it's like a marathon.
Did you get credit for the 2 if you passed 2? Was that the time?
The way it worked is if you passed practice, if you passed audit, we had like 4 sections when I took it. It was business law, theory, audit, and practice. And practice was divided up into 2 sections. And so if you passed practice or if you passed 2 out of the 3, like auditing, or business law or theory, then you get conditional credit, and you had like, I think 6 more times to finish it up, or else you lost everything. But it was like the first time you take it, you'd go in like it started like at 1 o'clock on Wednesday and went to like about 6, and then you came back on Thursday for 8 hours, and you came back on Friday for 8 hours, and then it was a pretty. There was like about 1,200 people, and you couldn't say anything.
Wow.
I mean, they would literally kick you out of the bathrooms if you talked. In fact, they'd kick you out of the exam if you talked.
Wow.
Which would be kind of embarrassing to explain why you're back to the office early. You know?
Wow. That's awesome. So we have Linda with us. She was able to sign back on.
Hi, Linda.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
Linda, your conference that you were at last week.
Oh, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was so nice being away for a whole week. I was concerned about that, with the dog and that, but the lady who came in to watch the dog did a great job, and it was just really, really special.
Nice. All the way until you spilled coffee on your keyboard.
Well, the good thing about that was that I actually did it after my webinar Saturday morning. I was on a webinar on another Zoom meeting from 6 to 8 a.m., and after I got off that meeting was when I spilled coffee on the left corner of the keyboard, and it looks like even another keyboard won't work, so I'm not quite sure, but I'll just get another laptop and we'll see what happens.
Right. If it was a desktop, you could plug another keyboard in, but a laptop, everything's in there, so I'm not surprised.
I think it's just that the device, and it's interesting because when I hit numbers on the keyboard I plugged in, I'm undone. It's not plugged in now. But when I would hit numbers, like, because it was my desktop keyboard I'd plugged into the laptop. And, I'm over on the desktop trying to type some things in, forgetting that it's plugged into the laptop. And the numbers typed in okay on the laptop. Hi. I don't know if anybody's- Oh, Sandy. It's Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
So Linda, didn't you mention in the other meeting you were going to a QuickBook training in San Diego?
I
When
am,
is
yes. I'm doing that Thursday, June 1st.
Oh, never
And
mind.
that's the advanced certification you're going to.
Yes, it is.
And
That's
it's
correct.
brand new now. They've redone
Absolutely.
advanced for everyone.
Yes. I signed up for both classes. I signed up for the one June 1st in San Diego, and I want to go down the night before and either stay in a hotel or with a friend, or I belong to this organization called Couch Surfing, and I'm going to I just take this. I just don't want to drive down that morning because it's a 2-hour drive. So I'm lazy. I like to get there the night before. So
I'm going to one on May 31st on Wednesday. It's the same location. It's an
What one are
online. It's a QuickBook online as well.
but it's not advanced.
I'm not sure if it's advanced. I just know it's QuickBook online.
Well, that's interesting because I didn't get an invitation to that one, but I'm so maybe they're using the same hotel, the Hyatt Regency.
Yes.
Mission Bay?
Yes.
I
Is
don't
it the
know.
same day?
No, it's
No,
on
she's saying-
Wednesday.
And yours,
Which
Linda, is
certification are you going to? Do you know, Sandy?
For what?
Which certification are you going to?
It's for QuickBook Online, but I don't know exactly. I just signed up because I saw something that was free.
Okay. Are you already certified on QuickBooks Online?
I just took an exam for certified user. I don't know if that's the same or not, but not pro advisor.
oh, okay. I didn't even know there was an
No,
exam for the
you're confusing things. And I just got a survey about that. That are people getting confused by the different names?
And the answer would be yes.
Yeah.
So, Sandy,
Yeah.
did you get an email that said you had passed and what you had passed? I would look at the email.
It was through CertaPoint or let me
So
look
it
up.
probably wasn't through Intuit then.
Doesn't sound like it. No.
Doesn't sound like it was an Intuit class. You would know.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's CertaPoint? Is that something you had to pay for?
You had to go to a training location to take the QuickBook exam.
Oh, and you did that.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. There's just so many that.
Oh, I don't know how, I can't keep up.
Yeah. That's why that's why it's so important to keep either a hard copy or your email that says what you did in either a folder, a real paper folder, or keep it in a folder on your desktop. Because otherwise you do all this stuff and none of it counts because you can't use the right words for
I
it.
always do a screen print on the.
I got a certificate that said certified bookkeeper user or something, QuickBook user.
It doesn't sound like anything.
That's
but
not it. That's not into it.
It sounds like somebody else probably.
Doing their
Yeah.
own thing. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
since-
I'm going to call into it today before 6 o'clock, and I'm going to ask them about that because I'm already QuickBooks Online certified. And did Sandy join as a free QuickBooks Pro Advisor for the online yet or not?
Do you have an online account?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yes, I did create an online account.
Okay. Because you'll get a free one if you join the Pro Advisor.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free to join.
Yes, I did
Yes, it
that.
Certified, and then you can be advanced certified.
If you want to do the advanced, I think you have to do the whole Pro Advisor program though.
Oh, even desktop?
Even for advanced online?
Even for
Interesting.
advanced online, yes.
Well, they just charged my card $549. So I'm going
sounds
to
like
call
a
them on the
desktop.
phone today and check, because I don't want to go down on the wrong day.
That sounds like
Right.
a desktop. 449 is a desktop program. Cert Pro Advisor.
Certified Pro Advisor for desktop. Yes, that's what the 549 is. And there's a cheaper one too if you
It's
don't.
like that's what I get. It's like $329 or something like that. If you don't
Right.
have
And
if you
what
don't have point of sale
Okay.
or
So no, I
or,
did not pay for that yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Sandy, on your QuickBooks Online, if you log into it, and if you're in the Pro Advisor program,
Yes.
when you scroll down on the left side, it'll say Pro Advisor,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
and if you click on that, you can go down further, and they have, of course, where you can take the exam for the certification, but they also have training there, so you can take the training modules.
I tried pulling the training module up and I couldn't pull it up. I didn't know is it my laptop or
It may
what it
be-
is.
Yeah, it depends on
You have to
if
have
you're
your pop-up.
certified. If you're a Pro Advisor member, you have to be a Pro Advisor member first. There is training for everyone. And then if you get to be the certified Pro Advisor, which is the program you have to pay for, then there's additional training that they give you. Does that make sense?
Well, can't you be a certified online Pro Advisor?
Yes.
With-
Well, the certified online is free,
Right.
but the certified for desktop and online is the paid program. And with
Oh,
the
I didn't
paid
know that.
program, you get the desktop version.
Okay, so they won't advertise your name on their website until you pay something.
Correct.
I
Well,
did not
No,
realize.
that's not correct. That's not correct. They will advertise on their website if you are signed up as a QBO consultant.
yeah.
Got it.
And certified, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe she's taking the regular QBO certification next Wednesday,
That's
and
what I
I'm
think.
taking the advanced on Thursday.
Right.
Maybe I'm thinking that's probably what it is.
But I'll double check it since I'm going to have to drive down there, and I don't want to drive down there the wrong day. The other thing is they're doing it again in Long Beach, which is closer to me.
Oh,
And
when is that?
That one's July. Hold on, let me go over to my calendar. I have it on my I believe it's July 13th, Thursday, July 13th, I think.
And it's
And
free?
so yes, but it's advanced QBO, and you
Okay.
won't be able to take it until you've passed the regulars.
Okay.
QuickBooks Online.
Okay.
So I had to
Sarah,
take the QB Online regular 2 times live all day long before I passed it. Okay?
Okay.
A couple of months apart. Now you might be, this other thing you took might have taught you how to use QB Online. I kind of really fought against QB Online for the longest time, and now I have a client that's in it. So now I'm using it, and because I pay the $549, I get help on the phone. So I was on the phone with them a long time yesterday about merging accounts, merging customer names, merging vendor names, because I found out this client had been on QuickBooks for Mac, and her IT guy, her computer guy, had imported the QuickBooks for Mac desktop into QB Online. And there's it's just got a terrible mess. It's got all these deposits from 6 years ago that were never deposited in the bank. It's got all these unreconciled transactions from 8 years ago. So I'm cleaning all that up for them.
It's actually easier to clean up in desktop and then re-import it.
I know, but she's been using it already since January 1st.
Oh, okay.
And she's been importing from Ivy. I know, that's what I said to her, but she didn't know, and her IT guy didn't know.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so we're seeing, and I told her also, I said, look, we'll clean it up. We'll do the quick and dirty method so that your bookkeeper can do your bookkeeping and be relatively accurate. And I said, then come next late November, early December, we may decide to start you a new QB Online file with all the same lists and that, and getting rid of all this garbage stuff that we cleaned up. We'll see. That gives us time. So
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So Sarah, I want to come back to you. You had mentioned an app for logging on.
It's a program that, okay, let me back up.
Thin stuff.
Okay.
So it's not one that you wrote, it's one that you found.
An IT guy on one of my clients helped me. What happened was I have a couple clients where I have a server and I'm over multiple people in accounting. And so I use LogMeIn so that I can hop into any machine and support them. And then I had QuickBooks. For one client, I had QuickBooks on the server because the computer that I was using died. So we installed it on the server and he gave me the rights. So I just work on the server. Well, when we went to 17, their server software is too old. And it would be thousands of dollars to upgrade it or something. So I can't work without bumping somebody off their machine, the old fashioned way.
Right, and QBox isn't going to work because
QBox ain't gonna work with them.
Right.
Their internet, they are on the wrong side of the street. Cables everywhere, and they have AT&T, DSL. It is painful.
Uverse.
It's painful. Anyway, so yeah, no, I'm not gonna mess about it. So called the IT guy to find out how much it would cost to upgrade the server, and he said, "Why don't we just make the owner leaves this machine on all the time?" He said, why don't we make the owner's machine a virtual machine?
Oh.
And I can RDP into his machine and he doesn't even know I'm there.
Oh.
So I RDP in, I have my own desktop. There's my Word and Excel and QuickBooks and everything I need. And all of a sudden it was full size. I've been like, working like this I am in heaven, and I'm like, what is this? And so I asked Mark, and I have to use LogMeIn to support because I need to be able to share screens. And when you RDP into a machine, it blanks out the machine.
Right.
So, but I'm using RDP into a virtual desktop on it's a brand new machine, and they bought a cheap machine. It isn't even a really nice machine.
Wow.
So, and it was $99. So that's what I was sharing this morning. And
Is that $99 a year or just $99 period?
I think he just $99 period.
Whoa, that's
$99
awesome.
a year. Shoot, that's not so bad. But I don't have to kick my client off their machine or work like sometimes with LogMeIn or whatever. You don't know. It doesn't always work to blank out the machine. You don't know who's walking by. You don't know if the client's sitting there watching you work.
Right.
And then your mouse stops because you're on the phone and they want to know what you're doing. So I like that stealthing in. And but anyway, that's how that was the solution for them. Now I asked Mark, Mr. IT guy, and he's like, because apparently we're tunneling in through the firewall. Now the IT guy did ask if I had a dedicated or static IP address, which I don't. So somehow he must. I really get a new IP address. So I think he probably did a range or something so that only I can come in, I'm hoping. But I'll find out more about it.
Wow, that sounds interesting, but
Yeah, don't leave the door open for other people.
yeah, I have to worry about something.
Well, yeah. So I still want to look it up and see what it is we bought. It had a 30-day trial. He said, let me throw it on his machine. He just dialed in and did it. He didn't even drive over.
Nice.
And he said, in the RDP, you put in their IP address and a port number. He gave me my own port number. Maybe that's how he's protecting them. And then it was my regular login, like for the server. And
You're there and able to do what you need.
And what I did with everybody else is, because I had heard some chatter on Facebook about it, was log me in and gone to like $600. The minimum fee is like $600.
How much? 600?
$600 a year.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So they said call and go, I need you to cancel my account. And every time I called for every single client, all of them said, well, we'll renew at the same price for one more year. So that's giving me a year to breathe.
But you're going to have to figure out something going forward.
Yeah, Splash Top, I think, is one that's
And
getting
you need to
popular.
log in whether they're there or not.
Yes.
That's the thing Log Me In gives you that like Zoom or any of the other ones do not.
I know Zoho Assist is something like that.
Yeah, so I'll have to do a spreadsheet of what's out there and what the costs are, but I was so glad every client said, if you can get it at the last year's price, which was double the year before.
I remember it was like about $75 a year.
Oh, yeah. It used to be.
It used to be free.
Yeah, it was free.
Who bought them? Citrix maybe or Microsoft? Somebody bought them. Sure enough,
Price went up.
It was a few years ago, but I went to an outfit in New York for DNS hosting. And it was only like $5 a month, and I got 3 dedicated IP addresses.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had, so they gave me static IP plus a couple others to fiddle with. So it was, fairly inexpensive. I think it was like $5 a month. So if you ever wanted to get static, there must be. I don't know about Georgia, but there must be some outfit that'll do that.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't have a static IP. There's a reason, but I don't know.
Okay.
Mark can tell you. Okay.
I'm sure I knew at one time.
We're going to kind of switch gears here a little bit. Sandy wanted to talk about pricing. Jordan, new to the bookkeeping world, I'm sure would find this interesting too. What are the different methods of pricing and how do you handle it and how do you come up with your pricing? So Sarah, let's talk to you. You've been working for a while and you went from the hourly method to monthly automatic billing.
Yes, I went to automatic billing. I went to prepaying instead of me billing after the end of the month, because for 30 years I would work and on the first of the month I'd bill for last month. So now my contracts have always said, you don't want to work for me, I'm not going to hold you to it. And if I don't want to work for you, I don't want to be able to do it. So 30 days notice.
Right.
So that way, if I get paid up front and they give me 30 days notice, I haven't lost. I mean, I can't get a client instantly like that. So,
Right.
So that's one reason you want to get prepaid too. I mean, my clients have always paid beautifully, but so
Yeah.
ACH, the beginning of the month, everybody's signing annual contracts divided by 12.
And you do your contracts with your letter of engagement?
Yes.
So I want to say a letter of engagement is like really, really important to do
And
with each
detailed. Mine's like stupid long.
How many pages? 3, 4? I've gotten mine down to 2 pages. And
Well, I have a client's guide, and that one's long too. Let's see. All right. For instance, Here's one. I always do a cover letter. Dear client. That actually went to 2 pages because I was talking about Mental Tree and how I was going to implement. It's like Bill.com. All right.
Got it.
So, you know, this one was like, you've been a client since 2011. I haven't had a fee increase. It's like, not 2011, 2000 and wrong contract. I have one where they've been a client for 14 years and I've never raised the rate. So I raised it 13%. And they're upset, and I'm like,
that 13%'s a lot in 1 year. You're better off.
It wasn't that much. It was like $200 a month or something. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But Linda, she hasn't raised their rate in 13, 14 years.
I hear that.
I'm adding online bill pay. I'm adding HubDoc. I'm adding. So I added all these things, and I hope the increase that you've enjoyed this, long period.
Mm-hmm.
They were paying me the same thing they were paying a bookkeeper 15 years ago.
Wow.
And anyway. Okay. So then I have the fixed price agreement. Oh, it's 9 pages. I just saw the thing at the bottom.
9 pages. Good.
9 pages.
So it's agreed upon services, client responsibility. These are paragraphs. Unlimited access. Which that's a concept where they have a flat agreement with me. I don't want them to be afraid to call us. That we're going to nickel and dime them every time they call.
Right.
That kind of, not unlimited access after hours on weekends. That's not what I mean. Services outside the scope of agreement, scope limitations, no authority to bind. That's the legal stuff. Confidentiality, equipment. We'll use my equipment, hardware and software. I don't have any warranty for HubDoc or any, that kind of stuff. Let's see what else is on here. Ownership of data and intellectual property. The data file belongs to them. I state it right in the contract.
Yep.
Preparation of financial statements. We are not a CPA firm, not permitted to provide a higher level of financial statement, such as review or audit, blah, blah, blah. Our financials are for management use only, blah, blah, blah. Chain of command, I love that. We ask that the client clearly define the lines of authority between the board, staff, and ASB. One of ASB's main goals is to protect the officers of the nonprofit. ASB desires a close working relationship with the treasurer, even if the arrangement is to work with another officer or support staff. So I state that because I work for treasurers. I work for board members. The way I model. Anyway. Then you get the limited liability, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love this part. Staff rating fee. In the event that the client, any subsidiary or successor desires to hire an employee or ex-employee within 6 months of their termination of ASB, there will be a fee imposed in the amount of $15,000. In other words, don't go trying to hire my staff out from underneath me.
Oh, that was good, Sarah. I like that.
No, you get stung once, you don't get stung twice.
Right.
That's right.
Fee schedules, price guarantee, termination of agreement, complete agreement, acknowledgement, and acceptance, 9 pages. Oh, and then it goes into recapping. I have a little snapshot of what we do that's seasonal. Seasonal tasks in January, we're doing 10 to 9, so there's just a 1-page recap. And then there's the ACH authorization. And then I do a detailed full charge bookkeeping services. Weekly, we do this, disbursement, deposit. And okay, so that right there is 2 pages. See, if you show them pages of everything that you do, they've got to have
some idea of the value of what
the value of this and the complexity and everything. And it's my expectations, what I expect from them, and what they should expect from me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
I require my clients to give me a deposit also. My bookkeeping clients, I require 1 month deposit. And then
in addition to the prepaying?
In addition to the prepaying, yes.
Nah.
Oh,
I've
wow.
had my clients forever. I think.
Yeah, and this is because I've taken on, as the new clients come on.
Yeah.
I'll say I have like a $250 package, a $500 package, and then
I want to ask you.
whatever custom they want to do.
Mhm.
But if it's $250, they give me a deposit of $250, and then after the first month, then I start my prepaying. So it really does even anyway. It's just a way of protecting me should something happen.
Nobody
Right.
should get stung. Nobody
Right.
should ever get stung.
Right.
Right.
And I use Bill.com for my automatic payments, so that once I set them up, they get a monthly reoccurring invoice that's automatically paid. So they will get an email every month that says, you have paid this invoice, thank you very much, kind of thing.
So you guys aren't hourly anymore?
Hmm?
So you don't bill hourly. It's not like a retainer, right? It's a. I'm having a hard time hearing me.
Oh, no, I got it. No, it's not a retainer. It's actually a deposit to start the work. And you know, depending on how bad their books are, because like Linda said, you know, she got a new client and their books were horrible. How do you start going forward? So I may even charge setup fees depending on how bad their books are.
Right.
I've got one like that right now, and I quoted, and I had a long talk with them. So the first thing I did was I had a Zoom meeting of all, they put it out for bid all over town, right? So I've got all these bids in from these CPA firms. So they know these books are a mess. And so they were looking for cleanup and a long-term solution. So, of course, I do my Zoom thing, and I have internal auditor from Atlanta, and I've got, you know, they all over, because they're like, well, we need to meet over, and I'm like, we're not meeting. We're not. So they thought that was really cool. Everybody's on their laptops, we're all, you know, waving at each other. So I was able to call the temporary bookkeeper, get into the accounting, blow it up, and I'm like, we're reviewing together, all of us, to try to see what the problem is.
Perfect.
And I'm documenting all the things I see that need to be
Done.
fixed.
Yes.
Okay? We're talking like the year end was June 30th. We pretty much need to go back to July 1.
Yeah.
So,
Last year, you're saying?
so I did, and then I did a whole needs analysis and recommendation. Like, here's what we found, and then listed all my recommendations. And then I talked to him and I said, you know what? I would love to just throw a number at you and say, give me the file, let me fix it. They've got an owner who's just like, I'm really afraid he's going to go get some $9 an hour clerk to clean this up. But so I said, look, they've got staff that I could probably give homework to.
Yes.
Plus, I have bookkeeping staff that I can bill out at a lower rate. So I said, tell you what, I'll just do a range. It could be as low as $1,500 or as high as $4,000 or whatever. Here's my bookkeeper's rate, which I rarely bill by the hour. Here's a rate for me. And your fee will depend on how much you can do in-house, how much my bookkeeper can do, and how much I'll be involved. So that's the way I did it.
So it's an hourly, actually. You're just going.
It's more like consulting.
And I don't know how you could do. Linda does that a little bit. Clean up.
I don't know how to.
Because you can get stung with it. I mean,
well,
and sometimes as you get into it, the deeper you get in.
That's why I dug in. I've already dug in.
Mm-hmm.
I've already dug in and talked to other, you know, I don't want to get into it too much, but people who are using the like software and the different ways to interface. I've already done all that. I probably spent more money putting this bid together.
Yeah.
But even if that division doesn't hire me,
yep,
I blew the rest of them away at the home office.
That's right.
So regardless of what happens, I said, look, you've got all these divisions. Some know what they're doing. Some don't know what they're doing. Some have accountants. Some have bookkeepers. Some are using their wives. Okay. So unless there is a procedure, unless there's a home office, this is how you set up. Here's how you use the software, a procedures manual. I said, this will just be an ongoing every year pain point.
Yep.
In trying to get all this information from all these divisions. So that's what they're talking about. That's one of the reasons I wanted to really knock their socks off, because they're talking about going in and writing a manual.
And so working virtually, how will you be doing the cleanup? I'm asking for Sandy and Jordan because their questions are also, how do you work virtually?
Q-Box. So I would, in this case, what I would do is if I'm going to give her homework, we're going to teach her, because I said, hold on, because there's some value to us cleaning up with them, because then the staff learns and improves, and and so during the meeting I said, so what's the situation? And the woman said, oh no, I'm temporary. I said, okay, that was important to know.
Absolutely.
So part of this is they're going to hire somebody, they're going to wait. And that's why I was like, oh, just let me go in there and fix it. But they're going to wait until they hire a bookkeeper. And then she's going to work with, if they take my engagement, work with us to clean it up. So we'll be training her as we're cleaning up. I mean, we're in a better way to learn. And so we would use a Zoom to zoom in on her machine so that we can work together. But then when it gets to some other components that she won't do, we're in a Q-Box and we'll just work from here, and everybody will really be in the same data. So.
And how are you getting information from her?
Then like we're going to have probably Smart Sheets or ShareFile or something, because I'll need copies of, in this case, I don't know, like if they're here in town, if they've got a year's worth of ADP reports, maybe I'll just borrow them instead of having them scan them, or give me a login. Can I go back and get my own reports? Can I go get my own bank statements? It's the deposit information that I need. I think that's going to be the most time consuming.
Right.
They have records there in house. The books are so bad, they've been keeping all these manual records.
Well, that's a good thing, though, for you.
It is a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
So if I can get it massaged and get them in the right place, we've got payments going straight to the checkbook. So you'll see just pages and pages in the checkbook of, $50.20. And so I showed the auditor, I said, you can't do a bank rec when you have a bank statement and the deposit's, $4,062, and you go in the checkbook and there's thousands of pieces. That's a setup problem.
Yeah.
And it needs to be, okay, here's a question for you guys, because I've never bumped into this. Is there a way in bulk to get all those payments back in undeposited fund? Or we're going to have to edit each one?
Are they deleted? Are they deposited in separately, one by one by one?
When you pull up the payment on AR, it says right there the bank account. It doesn't say it. Usually it's going to undeposited funds and you don't see it at all. It's just sort of happening in the background. It actually has the bank.
Yeah, I don't know that you can take it out of undeposited funds, but
it's not in undeposited funds. I want it to go to undeposited.
Oh, God.
Right. The problem was it went straight to the bank account.
Right.
So
Sarah, I think for something like that, don't you think maybe using setting up the bill and then matching it would work?
This is AR. This is AR.
Oh, okay.
AR payments were imported from another system.
Gotcha.
So we have two problems. One, if it didn't find the right customer name, it made a new one. So she's like, there's all these negative balances.
Yeah.
And then there's all these people that have paid and it still says they owe. Okay. So my recommendation to them was, and this is where they don't want to pay me higher hourly rate to do this, is, especially since they're going into the slow season, or get a temp to do it, but start day one, July 1 on the AR, and touch and feel every single payment.
Right.
And based on their paper records, is that the right customer name?
Yeah.
And then change it. I guess you could change it to undeposited.
Yeah, and that's not a problem.
There's an accountant's tool that you can reclass. So like you could reclass it from
Yes, you can bulk reclass. Hold on, I'll open
from
my
like the bank
desktop.
account to maybe a clearing account type of thing.
Yeah, you could use the reclass feature.
Will the reclass work?
Hold on, I'll tell you. Let me open my QuickBooks.
See, I've never seen a set of books that were set up to go to the checkbook instead of undeposited funds. Now, here's what's weird.
I have. I've seen that.
Here's what's weird. If she puts in if she manually puts in an AR payment, it goes to undeposited funds.
Yeah, that's a setting issue.
Yeah, okay. No, it does it correctly. It does it correctly if she manually puts in an accounts payable payment. If she imports it from her AR system, it's going to the bank. So there's
it
was mapped that way.
It was mapped that way, yeah.
In the other software, not in ours, because ours is set up right.
Yeah, but you can actually adjust it when you do the bulk entry. You can adjust it to go where you want it to go.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. So I gave them worst case scenario that they would have to, touch and feel all these payments, get them out of the checkbook, over to undeposited funds, find their deposit records, and go make all the deposits. That is probably 80% of the cleanup. And then they have all the sales item codes with on the balance sheet accounts instead of revenue. So, but that I can deal with that. I can change that and tell it how far back to go.
Come on, baby.
Retroactive to fix it. So,
is that you, Misha?
No, I ain't got no children.
You don't have any
Not me.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Anyway, I hope I get the job because it looks like fun.
Well, I hope you get it.
I mean, I haven't had a mess to clean up in a long time.
And
yeah, I've got one now too, and I really like it.
Well, that's
it's actually not too bad. There's only here's a fun thing. They set up an item on an invoice that linked to the checking account.
Oh.
So when they put that item on, I said,
and it wasn't for an NSF?
No, it didn't reconcile because it wasn't real. It was fake. And I'm going like, it's from an invoice. Why would an invoice be taken out of the checking account? Well, when they
linked for NSFs.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't an NSF. It was a charge. It was a shipping charge. And the shipping charge, they had linked on the item list, that the income account was a checking account.
How old's the file? Because
this file is very old. This file goes back
years ago.
2006.
How old?
2006, and it was.
Here, I'll tell you how this happened. The older versions of QuickBooks, when you set up a new account, it defaulted the type to bank.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there you go.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
And if they don't look at their balance sheet, or they don't know what a balance sheet is, that account just keeps getting bigger and bigger, which means they haven't been able to write off or realize revenue.
Yeah.
All that activity. Ooh.
So Sarah,
So when they pay their taxes.
Yeah.
So I remapped it, but it didn't change it. This is.
I should have asked you. Oh,
no.
6. Are you using 6?
No, I am in QBO, QuickBooks Online. And what happened? It doesn't ask. Do you want it to go back all the time or just from now forward? And it changed.
Retroactive.
No.
Oh.
And so I'm going to have to. I'm still thinking about it. I've got the list of all these things, but the lady who helped me at QuickBooks was really, really good. And I was asking her, I said, well, you know how desktop does this? She says, oh, I've never worked in desktop. I only work in online. But she really knows online well, and so she was helping me merge things together. Because they had like 3 different names for the same vendor, all these things. It's just kind of that kind of mess.
So
anyway.
Sarah,
Yes.
expense accounts, profit and loss accounts, and balance sheet accounts can be you can reclassify them.
Awesome.
So there's that potential. You have
AR
you have
transactions.
but you also have non-item based
Right.
reclassify to account. You have item based reclassify to account.
So do you think?
So you have, I want to say you have a whole lot. You have access to customer vendors, and employees list in that reclass section. So there's a potential to tweak
won't let you
it.
do employees or customer names in a reclass.
This
I mean,
sounds
you
like
have
QuickBooks Online.
access. You have access to
You
them.
can see them, but you
Yeah.
can't change them.
Well, I'm wondering, was every single deposit from July 1st to now in that data file, was every single one of them? All the deposits?
No, just the interface from that other system.
Yeah, I wonder how you're going to grab those, and only those, and not the whole thing.
That's
So
why I
if
like
you-
trying to think about how to do it with a clearing account.
Well, anything that went to the checkbook, if I can say take all sales, all AR payments,
And put it to,
put them to undeposited funds instead of the checkbook,
right.
Okay.
That'll work.
that'll fix all that.
Okay.
And
Without showing you my QuickBooks file,
yeah,
if you choose to view the balance sheet accounts, that's all the banking. You can actually reclassify. Let me see what you can reclassify
go click on
to.
undeposited funds and see if it comes up.
Account. Hang on, where is it? Undeposited funds is there. Reclass
is it?
to
Okay.
account to.
Because we want to do the opposite. We want to go to the checkbook and reclass them to undeposited funds.
The
I
accounts
can
receivable.
actually, I don't know if it'll work, but I can say account to, and then reclass to. I don't want class. No, I don't want to use it. Yes, it's possible. Because right now I'm in the checking account and I can select undeposited funds. You might have QuickBooks might say you can't do that, but you can always go back to them and say, yes, I can, honey badger.
All right. So if I'm in a Q box and I have the data file on my side, I can use my accounting tools and I can do a bulk of this. And then I can say, okay, it's all in undeposited funds. Now go matchy, make your deposit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to start. And then the last time the bank was wrecked was like December, and I look at it and there's pages of deposits in transit going back months. And I'm like, no such thing as a deposit in transit more than a couple of days. Doesn't happen.
Right.
What version of QuickBooks are you using?
16.
Okay, I just did that in 17.
Got it. It'll be done in 16.
My personal QuickBook, my company's QuickBooks file is in 17 because I'm testing out 17 myself, like playing around with it and using it. So I moved my data file to 17.
So
but I was
Sandy-
able to go into the accounting, the reclass, the client review feature, and then select reclassify transactions. And then you can always fix unapplied customer payments and credit cards and clean up all of that stuff and fix all of the stuff that in bulk.
I've got to figure out how it's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
It must be a setting in there.
You need to go back to that Ivy program and have it remapped to undeposited funds.
This must be what it is.
Yeah, you'll need to do that first if you want to clean it up and have it going forward.
No, it may not be. And then they stopped doing payroll. They went to ADP, so that helped.
Yay.
But we get to, so everything's looking pretty clean. I get to December and the journal entries and the drafts are not matching. A whole bunch of people got overpaid by mistake. They caught it in January and ADP made them reissue and new W-2s and everything. I'm like, for existing employees. Seriously?
Wow.
You couldn't just
Well,
adjust the
better
cut period?
than having
That's
to do
why I
it
hate-
yourself.
That's why I hate ADP. I said I would have never made you do that. You know, you just add the, you know, you would just adjust,
Right.
subtract the hours out on a current period or something, but you don't
Go back and
go
change.
back and
I don't think they do that lightly, though. I really don't. There must have been some real issues.
I don't know.
So, Sandy and Jordan, are you confused yet?
Always.
Always.
Especially when I'm talking 100 miles an hour. Sorry.
And any questions that we can answer?
No, I'll have to just rewatch the video for B and, you know, go check out those apps and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, working virtually, you want to use QBO, or if you're using QB Desktop, you want to look into possibly QBox, which allows you to work or see what's in their files. It's more of a traffic cop than it is actually working in there live. If they're in it, it's locked and you can't work in it, but when they're not in it, you can go right in and work in it.
You can go in it. You just can't post anything new.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't prevent you. It doesn't prevent you from using your own QuickBooks and opening up your own copy of the data file. But it warns you that somebody else says they're working. That's the lock.
And anything
So
that
if you work,
will not be saved, right?
yeah,
Okay.
when you work, and that other person finishes and syncs a fresh copy up and down to you, you get overwritten. So
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I was really glad about how in QBox you can go back to an earlier version. I messed up making my journal entries for and I'm going like, oh God, I can't even remember if I've changed something from last year, and I didn't want to do that. So I just went back to, I had opened it 3 times since yesterday. And I went back. I just rolled it back to the one that I first opened because I haven't put in those adjusting entries every month since January. I've been, so, and now they want a first quarter report, so.
I actually had to roll in. How long have I been on QBox now? Probably a couple of years. Because so this past month, this past month was the first time I have ever had to roll back to a previous version.
Wow.
Handy though, isn't it?
Yeah, but the reason I had to roll back, because I pulled Expensify in and it didn't do what I wanted it to do properly.
And see, you know what? You know what? You need to know that too. When you're connecting apps, do you have that ability to do that?
Oh yeah.
So, and it was a major big baloo
probably
because
transactions and.
Oh, I pulled in like a bunch of expense reports that had a ton of billable hours that I needed to then create invoices for, which I couldn't because the billable box was not graded out. Like it wasn't, I didn't allow me to check that, but that box wasn't checked, even though it said it was billable.
Wow.
I don't know what happened, but so I rolled back, and it's a good thing my client didn't do any work in there, but all the work I had done, I had to roll back, and so I had to start all over.
Right. Yeah. Right. Sometimes you need that though. Sometimes it's important.
Well, that's one reason I'm afraid to use QBO. We can't undo anything.
Roll back. I think that you can, but I think you have to call support.
Yeah.
That's if they know how to do it. I'm just saying.
You can't edit payments.
Yeah.
You can't reclassify payments.
So
I've gone into AR and looked at the payment that way, and it's grayed out. And I've gone into undeposited funds and looked at it that way. It's great.
So you can't do it, and okay.
Another thing you want to think about when you're going virtual is what sort of document system do you want to use? Do you want to use Dropbox? Do you want to use Evernote? What are some of the other? ShareFile is another one that everyone's using. What else do people use?
Anyone use Google Drive?
HubDoc?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So
I just found out HubDoc actually integrates with ShareFile.
nice.
Well, at least That's what the HubDoc guy
Now,
tells me.
HubDoc is a little bit different. They go out and fetch the documents for
Right.
you. If you have HubDoc set up, every month they will go out and get the statements for you, or if it's a vendor, they'll get the invoices. So you don't actually have to go online, log in, and bring it to whatever document system you're using.
Right.
I find that I've been using Box.com, the free account, for years for all of my tax clients. I've set up folders for them. They upload their documents and I put their tax return in there, and I haven't had any issue. I haven't had to buy. I mean, I probably should buy it to get the additional features and stuff so I can do customizable links and like all of that stuff. But so far, I mean, I'm able to do that for free. And Box works pretty great with PandaDoc, and I use PandaDoc for document signatures and collection and stuff like that. So connect a lot of the apps now are, you can connect them in a certain way. Granted, I don't think PandaDoc, the way me and Joanne have been using PandaDoc, I don't think that's how it was meant to be used. So we've been working to, stretch the limit of PandaDoc this past tax season, because I usually it's, oh, you have a contract here, sign it. Here's the contract, create the contract, sign it, send it, sign it. That's not how we're using it. We are using PandaDoc to collect data for tax preparation, and then getting that data, processed and back out to the client for signatures. So it was interesting when we did the demo and stuff, we were asking all of these questions and they were like, huh, what? So, it's great when you find an app that really works for what you didn't know you needed it for.
Well, that's the problem. There's so many of them out there, and you just have to really try them and figure out what works best for you. Yeah. Because what works best for Misha may not work best for me.
Correct.
Maybe I have a different way, So we have a lot of varieties here of different ways of doing things. You just have to jump in and start playing with the things. Get the trials. Many of the things that we use are free. You may be able to get a free account and use just the dumbed down version, and then later on, if you like it and want to continue and want the additional features, then you can purchase it.
And the one thing you'll notice is that a lot of these companies have we have an accountant rep, and they want us to get on board with their product because they know if we're using their product, we're going to recommend it to our clients.
Absolutely.
And that's where you can get special features or special, access training and
help
all of that
them.
stuff.
Right. They want you to know.
Because they want you to learn the product and swag, and, they want you to come to their events and do their webinars and like all of this stuff. So that's another thing too. And I generally only will promote products that I have physically actually played with, used, and am using in my practice. Yes, I'll test out other things, but if I'm not using it, if it's not going to save me money and time, I'm not even going to bother. Like the guy I think it was Canopy. He was like, oh, you can get all this stuff and do all these things. And I said, and then he was like, oh, it's like $50 a month or whatever. I don't even remember. But then I said, so how is it saving me how is it improving what I'm doing right now other than paying for it? Because I'm doing what I'm doing with the products I have. Like, what is it about your product that is going to improve what I'm doing? And he really, I'm like, but I kept saying, but I do that now for free. Why would I pay you to do what I am currently doing for free? I had to say it 3 times for him to get it. And he kept going on, and I'm like, hon, for free. And he was like, well, yeah, I understand.
Since people, they're really, I've been, one of my gals has been taking these phone calls from some girl named Melissa, who says she's talked to me, and we've been playing phone tag, and I'm like, I have no idea who she is, and I don't know what she's selling, we're going back and forth. Well, she sent me all this, so Angela said, I gave her my email address and told her to send it all to me, and I'm looking at this, and I said, Angela, read the email. It's addressed to Sarah-ASB or something like that, whatever it is. And I said, that's my Twitter name.
Right.
It's like, she pulled that from Twitter, okay?
Someone's cold calling, just trying to get to you.
Yeah.
But they're
All right. We're echoing. I don't know who's.
There's two Lindas.
Okay, I'm going to end the recording today, but I'll leave it up for you guys to talk afterwards. I have to leave, so I'm going to say goodbye to everyone. See you same time, same place next week.